Welcome back. All across the country, the number of COVID-19 cases continue to climb, and here on Delmarva, it's a similar story. Maryland now has 50,988 cases after adding 1,279 cases today. Virginia now has over 40,400 cases after adding 1,084 new cases today. Delaware added 65 cases today, bringing them to a total of over 9,200 cases. Looking at our hardest hit areas, Wycomico County now has 931 cases after adding 12 cases today. Accomack County has 827 cases after adding 20 overnight. And finally, Sussex County added 4 new cases today, bringing them to a total of 4,155. Delaware Governor John Carney issued new guidelines today for summer camps and summer schools in order for them to safely reopen. Carney announced in a press conference this afternoon that recreational camps must develop a written plan for enforcing social distancing, frequent hand washing, and other basic public health precautions. Along with that, health officials recommend that these places also conduct daily temperature and symptom checks of staff and students. The governor says they also must come up with special precautions to protect vulnerable staff members and children who are at a higher risk of getting sick.
The idea here, as I understand it with summer camps and summer schools, is to keep the cohorts limited to 15 children plus staff and to keep those cohorts together as opposed to mixing larger numbers of children together to make contact tracing a little bit more difficult and to limit the potential for spread.
Summer camps and summer school programs will be allowed to open once Delaware enters phase 2 of the state's economic reopening. Meanwhile, Mitchell's Martial Arts in Salisbury is preparing to start its summer camp program on June 15th, but we're told some of the state restrictions put them in a tough situation. Maryland summer camps have to limit each group to no more than 10 people, including staff, based on capacity. That means the new ratio will be 9 kids to 1 staff member. So Camp Phoenix tells us they will have about 100 kids enrolled for phase 1. They also say social distancing will be challenging because of the nature of kids, and they're concerned about not being able to take field trips.
So, I mean, we go swimming every Friday, and we can't do that. The number of kids in the pool is limited. I mean, this is going to be a very, very strange summer for these kids.
Per state guidelines, everyone has to wear a mask. They have to do daily COVID-19 symptom checks, and no out-of-state or overnight campers are allowed. And of course, you can find all this information on our website. Just log on to 47abc.com. Harrington Raceway and Casino will open back up to the public on Monday, but as expected, guests will see a lot of changes at the facility. Everyone entering the building, including employees, will have to wear a mask, answer a short questionnaire, and get their temperature checked. Because of state requirements, there will be at least 8 feet between available slot machines, but table games, poker, simulcast, and sports betting will be closed. In accordance with state guidelines, they now have a 30% capacity limit.
That number could exceed 2,000 people, but with only approximately 500 machines being operational, we're going to limit it, and that way we'll be able to control social distancing.
Casino officials say they employ as many as 750 people, so this reopening may help stimulate the economy while also generating much-needed tax revenue. The Harrington Raceway and Casino will be open Monday from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. with hours in between to allow for deep cleaning. Horse racing will resume there on June 15th. As for Dover Downs, they also plan to reopen on June 1st.
Good evening, Delmarva. It was one of the warmest days we've experienced this year. It actually was the warmest day this year and one of the warmest days since last October. So it's been a long time. Really feels like summer is here. Our Morse Roofing and Siding Skycam right now. It's quiet, not a lot of action. Looks like we have a couple people on the boardwalk over there just kind of hanging out at this late hour. Weather watchers calling in. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. It's 69 for John and Fenwick, 73 for Bud and Pam and Laurel, 68 for Ed and Chincoteague, 71 for Ted and Millsboro, 73 for Ron and Georgetown, and for Chucky and Lewis. It's 73 in Salisbury as well. Ocean City, 68, and it's 74 in Dover. So it's a pretty warm night tonight. A little humid too, with dew points in the 60s and even low 70s. And again, once it gets above 70, that's when it starts to feel quite uncomfortable, especially during the daytime. But the good news is those dew points will begin to drop tomorrow afternoon as a cold front swings through. Still a bit sticky though, with dew points in the 60s. So satellite radar combined right now, we're just tracking a few showers, most of them in the DC, Baltimore area, and they're actually breaking apart. And that's what forecast models were showing us. So that is good news. So we're not expecting a lot of these to hold apart. It doesn't mean we're not going to have an isolated shower or a thunderstorm tonight. It's still in the forecast. The chance is just about 20 or 30%. 68 to 73 tonight, so pretty warm. Most of us probably not dropping below 70 unless you live at the coast. It will be in the 60s. 80 to 85 for your Saturday. Clearing skies throughout the day as that cold front swings through. Maybe an isolated shower or storm. There's the front situated off the coast tomorrow afternoon. That means humidity levels begin to drop, but it's still going to be warm. 83, maybe even 84 degrees for the afternoon high. If you're taking the boat out this weekend, if you have any plans, you picked a pretty good weekend. No advisories here, just a little bit breezy at times, especially for the Atlantic, but overall, we're looking at a light breeze. Here's that beach forecast for Saturday. 75, 76, maybe 77 degrees. The UV index, though, moderate, so put on the sunscreen. Water temperature still chilly in the upper 50s. Only a very slight chance for a morning shower. So Futurecast does show some clouds hanging out during the morning time, especially at the coast. It's going to take a little bit longer for those clouds to get out of here for the Atlantic coastline. But late in the day, we're looking at some sunshine coming back. And then finally by Sunday, all of us will finally be seeing wall-to-wall sunshine with comfortable temperatures and low humidity. And that continues into the early portion of the week. 69 or 70 for the high on Monday. 74 Tuesday. It starts to warm up again by Wednesday and Thursday with just a few isolated showers. You're watching 47 ABC News. We'll be right back.
I'm Andre Collins, Chrisfield Crabbers. You're watching Delmarva Sports Inside.